bonjour tout le monde. I'm sure you're all wondering why a 16 years old IB student with not even a high school diploma is not at home doing homework, but is here talking to you about the possibility of including the feminist and tolerant mentality in the academic environment. Well, to justify the fact that I'm not at home studying for my biology test, even though I should be doing so, let me tell you, I'd like to start by telling you guys a little anecdote. It happened on Women's Day, actually. I woke up that morning and I felt extremely feminist and confident, more than usual. So I decided to wear a feminist shirt with "Power to the Ladies" written on it. Only 23% of the world's politicians are women, so my shirt simply stated that more people need to be aware of that alarming gap, and that more women need to take action. So as I said, I woke up with enough motivation to change the world. However, that slightly changed when I got to school. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about right here. There were people walking past me and telling me, "Power to the men, eh?" And others were claiming to be equalists instead of feminists, which to me should be two synonyms. Others were making more ignorant and sometimes even offensive comments. I knew that their reaction was not because they're bad people, but because they did not know feminism enough to truly understand what it is really about. And that's why I'd like to take a second to understand this image right over here. I think that it perfectly represents the issue I'm talking to you about. Students are not aware of the fact that feminism consists of equality, but rather consider it as a threat to men. So after spending the day hearing those comments, I realized that I, as a young woman, need to take action. And that's what brought me here with you today. C'est ce qui m'a amené à venir vous parler de l'inclusion de la mentalité féministe et inclusive dans le milieu scolaire aujourd'hui. La jeunesse est un vecteur de changement et il est primordial d'inculper chez elle des valeurs de respect et de tolérance pour pouvoir garantir un futur équitable. Si nous voulons un avenir féministe, il est primordial d'inculper ces valeurs dans l'éducation. If we want our children to live in a feminist and respectful environment in which they would not be afraid to be who they are, education is the first step towards that change. I've had the chance to visit a few schools, and let me tell you that we're all facing the same issue. Feminism does not have its place in our schools. Le féminisme n'a pas encore sa place dans nos écoles. Ce que je propose est un environnement scolaire qui met en valeur le féminisme. And that can be done in two different ways. I just mixed the two languages. I apologize for that. No, Franglish is my passion. So the first way is to include it in extracurricular activities, so it becomes more normalized and accepted by students. Je propose l'inclusion des notions féministes dans le milieu parascolaire. Je sais que ça peut paraître banal, mais imaginez si le conseil des élèves faisait des activités pour la journée de la femme. Imaginez si on avait un conseil féministe dans chaque école secondaire. Imagine if there was one feminist club in every single high school, and imagine if the Students' Council organized activities for Women's Day. Think about it if the school band organizes activities for women's shelters. There are so many possibilities to include feminism in extracurricular activities, and doing so would allow students to be more aware of the challenges we are facing as women. Les possibilités d'activité sont infinies. Il suffit juste de vouloir faire de cet enjeu une priorité au sein des établissements scolaires. One example that I would like to talk about is DLS Femme. So DLS Femme is a feminist club from the De La Salle High School here in Ottawa, actually just a few minutes away from here. And obviously they organize activities for Women's Day, but they also give conferences and workshops to other students. They're using the fact that they are themselves students to promote feminism around the city. C'est une initiative très peu commune au sein des établissements scolaires. Par contre, laissez-moi vous dire que celle-ci est sans doute à la base de changements positifs dans la société. C'est petit pas par petit pas que nous arrivons à accomplir l'impossible. They're only a few students, but their impact on their community is absolutely immense. Another example I would like to talk to you about is one that started at my school a few months ago. So the Gisèle High School United Nations Debates Club has determined that our first topic of discussion, yes, that's me right over there, that our first topic of discussion would be women's situation around the globe. Well, I won't go too much into the details for that one because I represent a not so feminist country for the year. Par contre, laissez-moi vous dire que ces débats auront conscientisé les jeunes par rapport à ce qui se passe dans le monde en ce qui a trait aux droits des femmes. It is once again a small initiative that is having a giant impact. On the international scale, social inequality, as well as verbal, sexual, emotional, and physical abuse, are part of the reality of a considerable number of women. We often say that it is our duty as youth to advocate for women's rights. But how can we do so if our schools do not promote those values? C'est pour la jeunesse et avec la jeunesse que nous devons travailler ensemble pour changer les mentalités afin de pouvoir faire de l'équité une partie intégrante de notre futur. A well-informed youth means a more inclusive and a more supportive for women, and some more supportive future for women. Now that we've talked about the possibility of including feminism in extracurricular activities, I believe that an even more effective way of promoting the movement would be in the classrooms. We were taught the fight that Black people led and are still leading to overcome oppression. We were taught the fight French-Canadian people led and are still leading as well to be able to access services in their native language. We were taught the fight that some populations had to lead to overcome dictatorship. But we were not taught the importance, the significance, and the history of feminism. We were not taught the challenges women had to overcome and the issues we're still facing. I was not given the opportunity to discover feminism and to determine if I wanted to be part of the movement. There are so many ways of including feminism in our classrooms. So I would love to receive a project about feminism around the world, for example. I would love to read a book about a feminist inspiring women, or even about one feminist movement for my French or English classes. Cough, cough, Michelle Obama just published a book. I would love to read texts about feminism when it comes to literary analysis. I would love to study the evolution and the changes that were brought to feminism through the years for my history classes. There are so many ways of incorporating feminism in our classrooms, and doing so would be an immense step towards the development of a more inclusive future as well as a more inclusive present. Le fait d'inclure les notions féministes en salle de classe va permettre le développement d'une société beaucoup plus inclusive pour le genre féminin. So I'd love to grow up in a world where feminism and equalism are considered synonyms. I'd love to grow up in a world where people would immediately understand why I am a feminist, and without forcing me to justify myself, and to justify my decision of being part of the movement. I would love to just be able to wear my feminist shirt with no fear of being judged. And I would love to all the women to be able to be who they are with no fear of being judged. I want all the ladies to be able to reach out for their dreams with no fear of harassment. A lot of you will say that my dream is too utopic. But let me tell you, if I did not believe that anything is possible, I would certainly not be here talking to you today. And don't ever forget that dreams are made to come true. I'm here because I think that us, young people, as well as not so young people, are able to unite to offer our future generations a better future, a more inclusive future. Now, to all the principals, the vice principals, the school trustees, and every person that works in the academic field, it is now your turn to make this dream come true and to allow the feminist mindset to be accepted and not only tolerated. À tous ceux qui œuvrent dans le monde de l'éducation, il est maintenant à votre tour de faire de ce rêve une réalité et de vous assurer que la mentalité féministe soit acceptée et non seulement tolérée. Now, to conclude, I'd like you all to do me a favor. No matter who you are, where you come from, if you're a man, a woman, non-binary, nous avons tous une force ici que nous pouvons mettre en pratique dans le but de partager nos valeurs féministes et d'égalité des genres. Mais si nous nous mettons tous ensemble, if you put all of our strengths together towards one same purpose, well, let me tell you that we can and we will change the mentalities to allow everyone to be who they are, to show up their true colors, and to achieve their wildest dreams. Yes, that is a challenge. Do you accept it?